Welcome back to the 350 Blueprint, the official podcast of the Jackson Medical Mall Foundation, where we spotlight the innovators, the builders, and the community champions shaping the future of Jackson and beyond. I am your host, Fallon Victoria, and today we are digging into the soil, literally and figuratively. Our guest, Miss Erin Smith, is a farmer, advocate, and program director for the Jackson Medical Mall Foundation's Double Up Food Bucks, Mississippi. If you've ever wondered how healthy food access and economic empowerment can go hand in hand, this is the conversation for you. Welcome to the show, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too, girl.
We've been working on this one for a while.
Yes. Tornadoes cannot stop us, girl.
At all.
We are going to get back together.
At all. We are here. I want people to understand how awesome you are.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure how awesome
you hate when I give you compliments.
I appreciate it. I thank you. You're awesome as well.
Well, thank you. And this is a very important conversation because we're talking about food access. We're talking about farming and agriculture and its relevance and significance to our culture, to our health, and our sustainability as human beings. So excited to have this conversation. But before we just dive into it, can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in farming and addressing food insecurities?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I guess I would start and give a shout out to my husband. There's this old saying in the agricultural world, thank a farmer. And so I would thank my husband for getting me involved in the farm life. He's a third generational farmer in Lincoln County, and I really married into the farm family business. Mm-hmm. And in addition, my grandfather was a farmer as well. And, in the past, it's not uncommon for a lot of Mississippians to have a bond to agriculture because, their ancestors may have done it or mm-hmm. folks that have gone before them. But I really fell in love with the family farm when I started dating my husband. And we have just spent our life with our children on the farm, and you have, a good, wholesome life for your family, get to teach them the ways of the land. And, mm-hmm. About 2015, so over 10 years ago now, I stepped out into the world of agriculture as a full-time job as it relates to food insecurity. I was employed at a local community college, loved what I was doing.
I was just going to ask you that. What were you doing before?
Yeah, I had a great job, just going along my day. I was an academic counselor and enjoyed times with my students, and then there was this great job posting that came available, and it was through AARP Foundation out of D.C. We have a AARP Mississippi, but that is not through their foundation.
Gotcha.
And it just was saying all these great things that I'd fallen in love with as being a part of a family farm, and it was having a promotion of food access to those that needed the most, low-income folks that didn't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and how farmers could be impacted by that, and how our local economy could be stimulated by that, while also offering more access to fresh fruits and vegetables to Mississippians. And so I thought, wow, that looks like something I really enjoy doing, mm-hmm. Because I went to school to be a social worker. So I'm a licensed master social worker and really never used my LMSW, but I have it. Mm. You never know when you need it.
Hey.
So applied to that job, got it, and started the first ever fully comprehensive nutrition incentive program offered through Farm Bill, through USDA, was partnered in a multi-state nutrition incentive program from 2015 to 2019. Along the way, I like to say that we were the first fully comprehensive produce prescription program in Mississippi in 2017. Now,
nice.
If any of your viewers out there can tell me different, I'm willing to listen, but I've done some research. We did that, piloted that program, and really enjoyed our time doing that.
Nice.
Now, I can tell you whenever you want me to how I got to Jackson Medical Mall from that.
Absolutely. And we're going to dive into that as well.
Okay. You want me to go down
yeah,
that road?
let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's
okay.
go.
So the first grant was called Fresh Savings, and it was through the USDA, offered across the country these nutrition incentive programs. And what the basis of nutrition incentive programs is to test whether or not if you give folks on SNAP more access to fresh fruits and vegetables, will they consume them? And so really it's a national research project.
Okay.
When I became on board with Fresh Savings. So when the original grant was over in 2019, my employer decided they weren't going to do this anymore. And so I was left as a Mississippian that believed in agriculture, that believed in more access to fresh fruits and vegetables for everyone, with the idea that there's got to be somewhere in Mississippi I can find a home for this program.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a home that really embraces holistic manner, holistic health care, holistic health, all these things. And for some reason or another, I never had directly partnered with Jackson Medical Mall Foundation. I'm not sure how I missed that, but our executive director, Primus Wheeler,
Yes,
offered me a home. When I walked in his office and I had my first interview with him and pitched him this program and what a great thing it could be for Jackson Medical Mall Foundation, because he is a farmer as well. We just really connected. We connected on agriculture. We connected on serving Mississippians. We connected on everything. And so that's how the idea was born. And then I had to find, $2 million around and find it and write grants and get it. And through lots of national partnerships and local partnerships, I was able to fundraise. And our first grant was born and went live, of course, right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of COVID.
Yep.
But because of Jackson Medical Mall Foundation and how our passions aligned, I've now been employed with the medical mall for over 5 years. I got my 5-year pin.
Okay.
And so that's where it was born.
That's nice.
That's where it is today.
That's awesome. Mr. Wheeler is that person. If you come in and you can justify the need, and you don't even have to work that hard.
Well, it's been a hard road, but couldn't have done it without.
Well, I'm saying to convince him.
He's all in.
He's all in. Especially if you can find the resources.
That's right.
Like it's a yes.
That's right.
If it's a win for the people, it's a yes.
Yes. Yep. And you're 100% right. Mm-hmm. That's been my experience.
So let's talk about Double Up.
Okay.
Because it's this amazing program, and I don't think a lot of people realize that Double Up Food Books Mississippi is literally statewide. It's not just here in this area. So we have a statewide program. Mm-hmm. Can you explain what Double Up Food Books Mississippi is and the gap that it is working to fill?
Well, first of all, Double Up Food Bucks Mississippi is a nutrition incentive program. Right now it's funded through the USDA, through NIFA, through a grant that we've received. We are working on now our third grant. And we are fully funded. Drum roll, yay.
Okay.
In the grant world, when you can say you're fully funded for however many days, we're fully funded until July 31st, 2026, and we're
awesome.
And we fundraise nonstop.
Yep.
So Double Up Food Bucks, again, is a nutrition incentive program funded through the USDA. And what it does, it's sold to Congress through the Farm Bill, where you have bipartisan support on the triple win. It's a triple win. It's a win-win-win for everybody. So first of all, it is a win for our SNAP population. And SNAP is for low-income individuals that it helps boost their benefits. So some people mistake our program. We are not a part of SNAP. Our dollars are not SNAP dollars. This is a research project put on by USDA to investigate whether or not if SNAP shoppers receive more incentive to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables for their family, will they purchase them and will they consume them? So the first win is for SNAP participants to have more access to fresh fruits and vegetables across the state of Mississippi. The second win is it boosts our local economy. So there's all this support and research and findings that say and show and prove that by offering these programs across the country that it boosts the economies that it's in. Well, like you said, we're statewide. We're in over 30 counties across the state, and we're in over 40 either grocery stores, farmers market, direct farmers, locations that is boosting the economy in these small rural areas across our state. And the triple win, the third win that is, selfishly probably one of my most favorite wins is because it helps the farmer and it helps the small business owner. Vowels, for example, one of our grocery store chains, we have all their stores on our program. We have Piggly Wigglies. We have, even smaller than, don't even have a name brand as big as Piggly Wiggly on this program. And that is, it puts money back into those pockets. So it's helping the small business owner be able to stay open. I mean, I've had grocery store owners that have told me if I did not have this program, we would shut our doors.
Wow.
Farmers, if I didn't have this reimbursement to sell this produce, I may not be able to be here next season. So, and then you get to touch the lives of the folks that are actually consuming the fresh fruits and vegetables. When, we do, because we are a research project, we're doing all this evaluation, we're doing all these surveys, and what we've learned is even just through storytelling, which is so important, but one of our local produce stands, we've had a mom come in and say, without this program, I wouldn't be able to send my kids healthy snacks to school. They're kind of upset that I've found this program because they went from having chips every day to fresh banana or fresh apple or something that's actually going to give them energy throughout the day after snack is over.
And that's a whole nother realm of benefits. You just touched on sustaining the local economy.
That's right.
Sustaining families and the health benefits for the consumers. So this in itself is a very holistic program.
Absolutely.
And so to your point, when you said that you were in social work, or that was what your degree is, I would say that all experiences are relative.
All experiences are relative.
And that you are indeed, you're also still a social worker.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm all in my heart and through.
Yep.
From church to our community to what I do every day, it is a blessing to be able to get to do what I get to do and get to work with Jackson Medical Mall Foundation and get to serve the people of Mississippi. I mean, it really is a joy.
It is. It's a win. It's a winning situation. So I want to do this too while we're talking about the impact. I want to dive more into the impact of the program. Double Up Food Bucks. How does it work in real life? Can you walk us through the process from a shopper's perspective?
From a shopper's perspective. And funny you mentioned that. If you go to our website,
plug,
you can find, we have this great little YouTube video that shows you exactly, it's like 90 seconds. So I need to share that with you.
Yes.
So I'm a shopper. I am going to go, first I'm going to be at a grocery store. Okay, I'm going to shop at one of our local grocery stores. So I'm going to just do my shopping. I'm going to use my EBT card where my SNAP is loaded onto that EBT card. And at the point of sale, you put all your groceries on the cart and they're checking you out. And if that location is a Double Up partner in Mississippi, you will receive a coupon for whatever you shop for fresh fruit and vegetables that is on that transaction. A coupon will then be printed off for up to $20 for you to be able to utilize that $20 coupon or whatever it is. Say you only have $13 in your cart. It's going to print off for a $13 coupon. So the next time you're in that location, you're going to go back and you're going to get a bag of apples and you're going to get a cantaloupe and you're going to get strawberries and peaches, whatever you can get for $13. And then you're going to take that through and check that out, and then you're going to use that coupon to purchase those fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's what it looks like on the grocery store side. And if I am shopping at a farmer's market where this program is offered, I'm going to go. Usually it works like this. Usually, I don't know how familiar you are with farmer's markets, but typically they're going to have like a welcome tent or a place where you can purchase items. So you're going to go use your EBT card and say, I want to use $15 today. I'm going to shop for $15. So the farmer's market gives you their tokens, currency. Say Smith Farmer's Market has this program. So Smith Farmer's Market manager is going to give you 15 Smith Farmer's Market tokens. And then if the program's offered there, they're going to give you 15 double up food bucks tokens, and then right there you doubled your buying power. And what shoppers like to do at the farmer's market is kind of a whole meal concept where you would take your EBT eligible items from the tokens from that farmer's market, and you're going to go and you're going to buy your dairy and your eggs and your beef maybe, and then you're going to go to the farmers that are selling produce, and then you're going to buy your greens and your watermelons and whatever else you can get. So then you take those items back and check out. So say your bill is $30, then you're going to be able to utilize that money right there for all your items.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I've gone to one of my local grocery stores where I live, and they have the double up program.
Okay, great.
And it's very well advertised within the store. There's a lot of signage, and the produce sections always look extremely well.
Snap. Yay.
Yes, extremely well kept. So I just want to give you all kudos.
That goes to, first of all, thank you, because we work really hard on our collateral items. And I have the best team in the business. I have outreach coordinators that travel this state and go to those 40 locations. They're there all the time, checking on collateral, looking at the produce department. How can we help the small business owner or the farmer's market make sure they're on their A game so they can get more foot traffic back into their stores? So thank you for saying that. I'll make sure they hear about it.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Show them this podcast.
I sure will.
So my next question is about impact. And you kind of mentioned it earlier. What impact have you seen in communities where the program is active? And do you have any more stories that stand out?
That's a loaded question. So we have so many different community champions on this program across the state. It's just amazing how awesome it works, how well it works across the state. I pulled a little snippet. Like I told you, we're always fundraising, and I had pulled some metrics. You ask about impact. Since we launched in 2020, we've served now. Just to be forthright and transparent, this is a multiplier effect. So we could have had. We hope, like you just said, where you shop at. We're loyal customers, right? So we're going to typically, and this is what grocery store owners are wanting you to do, is you're going to go back to that store where you shop for groceries. So there are repeat customers in this figure, but since 2020, we've served 243,000 SNAP households, and it's produced about $2 million in revenue redeemed at our local stores across the country. And furthermore, USDA has this put a lot of time and energy in building out what they call an economic impact report. So they can tell by using how much money has been spent on these nutrition incentives, how much that has impacted the economy. And so where I've said we've redeemed, or that there's been almost $2 million redeemed, it's even impacted our economies across the state of Mississippi over about $2.3 million. So this program is giving back to the community. It's not just one of these programs that is not well thought out. Without the United States Congress's support, we would not have these programs through the Farm Bill funds of 2018. So when you look at it at a national level and trickle it down all the way to our small rural communities in Mississippi, you know it's doing its job. So the best impact is when you can look a mother in the eye and she's in tears saying, you know, I've wanted to be able to provide my children with healthier options. And without this program, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, that's as much impact for me as a mother that I need to keep wanting to do this program across the state.
Awesome. That's a big deal because food is expensive.
It is.
For anybody at this point.
It really is.
So any help that you're able to get, especially to be able to put the right things in your body and the right things in your household, that is a big deal.
It is.
And you just mentioned something key, you as a mother. So I want to ask you this. How do you balance all of the hats you wear and all the roles from farmer to program director, and how do they ever inform or influence each other?
Well, I think we said it before. I'm just a girl. I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman that loves her kids, loves her husband. It's pretty simple. I mean, how do I balance all that? It just works. I'm not unlike you. I'm not unlike other women. We just make it work. We put on our different hats and we make them blend together. It takes a lot of work. It takes consistency. If nothing else, I was on the phone with a future funder, and she was introducing me, and she was telling the person that we were interviewing with that if nothing else, Erin Smith is going to be consistent. So I am not afraid to be consistent and persistent in my life as it relates to being a mom, being a wife, being an employee, being a church member, and being a community member down in Brookhaven, Mississippi. So just make it work, just bring everybody together and know that you in itself, you're just a person that can try to impact other people and always try to be his hands and feet and serve others where you can serve.
Awesome. That's a great way to put that. And consistency is a big word. It's a big word because you can be very talented and very passionate about things, but you still have to be consistent. So to go at this the way you do every day is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure through your consistency and your persistence, you've hit a lot of roadblocks.
Amen, sister. Yes. Amen.
So can you kind of speak to some of the barriers? Like, what are some of the biggest barriers in your work and to actually accessing fresh, healthy food in Mississippi?
Well, one of the key reasons why we have these programs are because of the barriers. When you work in areas that don't have a lot of transportation, when you work with folks that have maybe lost their jobs or in an impoverished cycle, that is the barriers we see every day. And so that is a part of this program. We look for overcoming those barriers. I mean, we have tried, and there are so many things that, I may apply to a really small, when I say a small grant, like $5,000 or $10,000, just so we can test different ways. I mean, I've tested a grocery delivery program that, has fallen flat. I have tested to try to overcome the transportation issues. We try to We've worked with mobile farmers market that actually take their farmers markets on the road and stop at different pop-up markets.
Mm-hmm.
So this program is always looking for ways to overcome those barriers that a lot of Mississippians face. So that as a program of how you're getting fresh access, fresh fruits and vegetables, and more food access, that is the barrier, and that's why Congress has approved these programs. So we overcome that by going in those rural areas and offering these programs where we're meeting the consumer where they are in their community. So that's one way to look at a barrier. Another barrier to always understand and know, and I've already touched on it, is without funding for these programs, we're not going to have the programs.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I'm talking to my national partners and we're on Zoom or we're doing different meetings, and they're like, well, besides funding, what can we do? What technical assistance do you need? Or what do you know? We need funding.
We need money.
We need money. So, and also I'd be remiss if I didn't throw out last year, about probably a year or two ago, we did receive a wonderful grant that was appropriated through the Mississippi legislature. It was a kind of a one-and-done food finance program, and the funds were allocated through the Mississippi Department of Agriculture and Commerce. So we've kind of wrapped that grant up, but I do want to give a shout-out to them and their partnership. So, we overcome these barriers by working with small key farmers all the way up to state agencies like the Mississippi Department of Human Services, Mississippi Department of Health, Mississippi Department of Ag and Commerce. We go out and to overcome the barrier. You can have a barrier to any program you're trying to implement. And one is underutilization of your program.
Yes.
So to make sure that our program's being utilized at its peak ability, we go in, these great outreach coordinators I was telling you about, we go into all of our counties. The main thing that we touch on every year, and we just wrapped it up, is we retrain every Department of Human Services, because they are the hands and feet of the SNAP world. They're the ones telling our SNAP shoppers about programs like this. So we go in and we re-educate. We stay on the road and go and provide like a 30-minute, an hour training to make sure that the folks that are the hands and feet of SNAP know about the program so they can help us tell others about the program. So those are just some barriers. Those are some ways that we're overcoming those barriers. If there is this wonderful foundation out there just listening to this wonderful podcast and just want to fund this Jackson Medical Mall Foundation program, I just call it a blessing.
Yes, we're here for it.
We're here for it. We're going to claim that.
We appreciate it in advance.
In advance, we appreciate your generosity.
I mean, and you said barriers, and these are the barriers pretty much in any program that's seeking to benefit the public. Lack of education and awareness about the program, underutilization, transportation. And a lot of these things the medical mall has in place just across the board.
That's right.
Because these are barriers to access to health care. And so eliminating those healthcare disparities that we can experience kind of on the holistic level and just at the root of it in your niche of area.
And that's why it's so awesome that I, Erin Smith, get to be just a little bitty piece of Jackson Medical Mall Foundation's world, and to get to promote the Medical Mall Foundation. It's been the honor of a lifetime for me to be able to do that.
And we love your enthusiasm and passion for this project and taking it all across the state of Mississippi, because the Medical Mall it's an international model, it's a worldwide model, but to be able to not only be globally innovative but locally dedicated, and for you to take that dedication and spread it all across the state of Mississippi into your national partners, you're doing the big work. So don't think it's not this big, it's huge. So
I appreciate
thank you so much for that. And
I love being able to showcase the Jackson Medical Mall's formula that we began a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is always fun to bring national partners here when Mr. Wheeler has an opportunity to meet them and he gets to tell them the history of the Jackson Medical Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sense of pride for me to be able to share that story. And then when Mr. Wheeler gets to do it, it's even better. So I think we're a testament to great things that's been going on in Mississippi for a long time.
Absolutely. He's an excellent storyteller in his
Yes,
story.
he
and
is.
I
A
love
lot of
listening to
fun.
him.
Yes.
And so I have about 2 more questions.
Okay.
Just 2 more. As the public, just regular folks, everyday folks, how do you think that we should take more interest in, or do you think we should take more interest in farming and agriculture? How can we get involved?
Yes, always take more interest in farming. I think when COVID did happen, like we started asking these really important questions about where does food come from? And, I hear about all these like big things in agriculture and big programs. You don't have to do that. I mean, we want you to. I mean, agriculture is so important. And for my family, we found our outlet through Mississippi Farm Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I were on the Young Farmers and Ranchers program when we were young. And now we're middle-aged and we're still able to find our niche in that entity as an organization. But you don't have to be, a card-toting member of some organization to really promote the food as medicine concept for agriculture. It's so important as it relates to our health to know where what we're eating is coming from. It's fun to teach our kids about where you get your milk from. And we on our family farm they originally were a dairy, and now they've diversified into we do row crops, and we do poultry, and we have beef cattle. And it's just so important. Even if you don't live on a farm, you can plant a garden in a pot. I mean,
right.
It's just really important. Now, like I would like to just, make sure I'm on full disclaimer. I'm not a workhorse as it relates to the farm. I'm an advocate. I love it. Mm-hmm. My husband is the hard-working farmer that deserves all the praise. And he and his brother and his dad have been farming their whole lives.
Wow.
And it is important for us. It is important to tell our children. It is important to make sure that everybody is represented in agriculture and farming, because we're all human and we're all
mm-hmm.
we're either we're consuming the products. So even in the past, and we're coming back to it with the Double Up program, we've done nutrition education tours. Well, I mean, when you have someone with you, whether it be an elderly parent or one of your children, you can educate the people that are with you every time you're in the grocery store, every mm-hmm. time you're in a farmer's market. Talk about the blueberries that, we have a lot of blueberries in Mississippi. Pick out some really great crops and that you can just Google and tell your kids about them. And one time I was at a farmer's market, and someone literally did not know what to do with a squash. And small little things like that in your daily life. You can tell them how, you just cut it up and saute it a bit, and you can cook with it. There's so many different easy ways. I think if we kind of all put ourselves into that thinking tank, that we can make a difference, even if it's with our own individual households, that we can promote agriculture.
Absolutely. And I would say, if you're like me and you've never farmed, well, I won't say never at this point, but you have very little farming experience, please get on social media.
There you go.
They will tell you, I really feel like so empowered because of TikTok and YouTube. And I've started to, tend to plants and repotting plants and just starting there. My son is in the program at the medical mall in the summertime, and he's learning how to actually properly plant
Right.
seeds and how to grow plants and peppers and things like that. So that's so important. But if you don't know where to start, like me, get on TikTok.
Well, and look, I don't want to act like, listen now, I am a nutritional incentive expert. I am not an expert in the beautiful world of agriculture and farming. I learn every day just like you. I have a husband that is the expert, and I get to be a great cheerleader for how important farming and agriculture is for your families and for in Mississippi. So I just want to make sure I'm always trying to be on the up and up.
Authentic. Like
yes,
this is
yes.
We get it. You said you are a farm family.
I'm a farm family, yes.
Point
all
well
day,
taken.
every day.
Point well taken. Well, thank you so much, Erin.
I've had a great time.
I know this has been an amazing conversation. You have to come back.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more that we can dive into about Double Up and about farming and agriculture.
When we get our next multi-million-dollar donation.
Claiming that.
We're claiming that.
Mm-hmm.
Have me back on so I can tell everybody. And I'll bring my outreach ladies that are so awesome.
Yes, I would love to talk to them.
They're great.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, this is not just a blueprint. This is a movement. See you next time.